The CCNA 2.0 is better. Not just better as an exam, but better for you when it comes to being a good entry-level network engineer. So we're going to go over both of these as a comparison, the CCNA 1.1 and CCNA 2.0. In this video, we're also going to talk about what this channel is about, what we're going to offer, what we're going to do together. I'm not just going to throw information at you and see if it sticks. We are going to build an enterprise network from day one ourselves, utilizing the technologies in the CCNA 2.0. We're also going to factor massively on troubleshooting, which is where it brings me into these two. Let's compare both the exam lists. If we go into network fundamentals and network infrastructure connectivity, you can just check some of the keywords here, and I'm not going to go through the entirety of this and waste loads of your time, because if you've got to this video, I'm assuming you're interested in taking the CCNA or CCNA 2.0. And the thing that struck me straight away is in the old CCNA, you have lots of explain, describe, compare, identify, compare. There's your first configure, describe. And if we do something very interesting here, as I expand all of these out on both sections, is get to the search bar. This one's longer. Control F, troubleshoot. There's one mention of troubleshooting there, and it's the labs hands-on training in the more CCNA training resources section. If I go over to this side and search for troubleshoot, there's 7 mentions of troubleshooting, and they're actually in the CCNA exam structure. They're expecting you as a network engineer to be able to troubleshoot these problems. A CCNA certified engineer will be walking into a job where the majority of the time they are going to be receiving tickets that say something like this: Barbara, PC can't access internet. And that's what you're going to be handed, and you're going to have to be able to figure that out. Now, the way you're going to figure that out is by being able to troubleshoot the network and understanding in what order best to troubleshoot the network to narrow down what your possible causes may be. So, not only are we doing troubleshooting, we're doing a lot more configuring of network infrastructure. With validating, which I don't mind the validate here because it's using CDP and LLDP to validate network documentation, which, especially if you're new to a company, is incredibly important, so that you can find your way around networks that you might not have a lot of experience with. We're still covering IP routing, same as the CCNA 1.1. We're configuring single area OSPF and with IPv4 and IPv6, but we're also doing HSRP and VRRP for redundant protocols. Say, for example, if you want a site with a router and then a spare router, so if one line goes down, it's including redundancy. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole of this. What I want to do in the rest of this video is give you an outline of what we're going to do in regards to this course and install Packet Tracer, ready for our next video where we can start actually configuring, learning and verifying what we're doing. So this is going to be a mission-based learning approach. We're not just doing topic 1, switching, VLANs, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be building a network from the ground up without starting a new lab every time. We're going to keep this lab, it's going to be evolving, it's going to be growing. We're going to have to make config amendments on existing working and configured network equipment, which is what you would have to do in a real life job, not just instantly, we're creating a new network every single time. So what you are going to need for this is you're going to need a PC or a laptop that's internet connected. You're going to need Cisco Packet Tracer, which is free, and Cisco Skills for All account, which is also free. Ideally, I'd like you to do this along with me, which would be great. If so, it would be better to have 2 monitors if available, if you can watch this on a desktop PC. But if not, I wouldn't worry too much. What we're going to cover, you should then be able to do separately in your own time, and I would encourage that as well, just purely because if you're not going out and doing it after we've done the video, you're not practicing enough. If you can have digital notes or a notebook, that would be brilliant, so then you can write down key topics and go away later, maybe leave it a bit of time and see if you remember them. And of course a comfortable keyboard if you've got it, because we're going to do a bit of typing. Now onto Cisco's Packet Tracer. Cisco's Packet Tracer is their official network simulator. It's nice and simple. Cisco created it so that entry-level engineers can learn to use their iOS and configure items without having to spend lots and lots and lots of money on expensive networking equipment. There are alternatives. You have Cisco Modeling Labs, GNS3 and EVE-NG, but they're going to be a bit out of the scope of this because your requirements are higher in regards to setting up servers, virtual machines to run those. So Packet Tracer overall is just a lightweight app that you can install directly on the PC you're watching this on now, and it will work and it will get you up and running and configuring devices in no time. So let's walk through downloading Packet Tracer and signing up to an account. So what we need to do is we need to visit netacad.com Cisco Packet Tracer. That link will be in the description of this video. So if we visit that, go to this site, and then we need to sign up with our account and get Cisco Packet Tracer downloaded. So we are going to sign up in the top right corner here. I'm going to use Google. I have already verified, so you just need to do that as an additional step with your Google account. But what we'll do is we'll click Google here and then select our country of residence. Now let's play the game United Kingdom. It's not under England, which is nice. State and province. Year of birth. I am not being honest with this one. And then we press continue. So now we've got our email, packetplumbernetwork@gmail.com. If you have any queries, feel free to email that and I will get back to you, and I'm quite happy to have discussions on any topic we go over here. I'm leaving the first and last name as is and then continuing. This has now created us a free Cisco Skills for All account. I don't want to receive communications. So we can gain access to the Cisco Skills for All free courses. So once we've signed in with our account, you'll be on this page and you can search for the course you need. So that's Cisco Packet Tracer, which will bring up the Cisco Packet Tracer Networking Academy section. Click on that and scroll down to all content where you have getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer. We'll go into here. This is a resume course button for myself because I've been through here before. However, it will be a sign up to the course, which is perfectly free. Click on that, sign in, and then once you go onto this button, it will take you into the actual course. Now what we want to do is scroll down to the Download Cisco Packet Tracer section. Open this, which will open a separate Lab Downloads Resources page. Scroll down to the version you want. I'd like Windows 64-bit. Now I'm going to download that to my downloads folder. And once that has completed in the fullness of time, it's the awkward silence bit because I'm not cutting this section, I'm just going to wait for it to download. My internet is fast enough that it doesn't take too long. So that has now downloaded. So we go to our downloads folder and get this installed. Cisco Packet Tracer will ask you to sign in again with your account details once you've installed it. So we'll accept the agreement. I'm happy with it going into program files. I'm happy with that. I'd like a desktop shortcut so I don't get lost. So let's install that. I'm going to cut back once this has finished installing. Now Cisco Packet Tracer has finished installing, so we're going to keep Launch Cisco Packet Tracer selected and press Finish. Yes, we'll run multi-user mode, why not? Once this boots up, we'll get signed in, and then what we're going to do is have a look around Cisco Packet Tracer, familiarise ourselves ever so slightly before then moving on to the next video. If you're already signed into Google, by the way, this will successfully log you into Packet Tracer. Let's minimize that again. Now that we're in Cisco Packet Tracer, this is the lab section. We have all of our options down the bottom. The only ones that we want to concern ourselves now for varying items we're going to use is the switch tab and the end devices component. You can check the most popular ones by going into miscellaneous, where you have some commonly used routers, switches and laptops and PCs available. What we can do is we can go into switches, drag the switch onto the screen and rename it if you want to. I am going to call this, because I'm the packet plumber, the site code is going to be TPP, and then we're going to call this ASW1, which is Access Switch 1. And then we'll go into End Devices, grab one PC and plonk it here. That's PC 0, and then we'll grab another PC, drag it here. That is PC 1, and we are going to link these with a copper cable to the switch. So we're going to Connections, copper straight through, and then we're going to connect the PC's Fast Ethernet 0 to the switch's Fast Ethernet 1 port. And then for the PC 1, we're going to go Fast Ethernet 0 to Fast Ethernet 2. And this is where we're going to save this, because this will be the start of our next lab, where we get these two PCs communicating with each other, discuss ARP, how they find out where each other exist, and why the communication between them works. And we'll also do a troubleshooting lab of when the PCs are not managing to communicate with each other. So let's go to File and Save As. We're going to go into takes you to our Cisco Packet Tracer, where we're going to call this Mission 0 Lab. We're going to save that, and that's where we'll leave it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Check in to the next episode where we're going to build a simple switch network and get both of those PCs talking to each other. I've been the Packet Plumber. Thank you very much for your time.